Hi, this is Stu Bruce from Washington College, and today I'm going to do a lab demonstration of our Establishing Your 3D World Lab Exercise Module A. First thing you're going to need to do is open up ArcScene, which I've done here, and you're going to go ahead and select the Arc Catalog option. If it's not already open, you can hit the drop-down arrow here. You'll see Arc Catalog. Go ahead and open that, and then navigate to the folder that has your data. First thing you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and open up the 3D visualization. You should have downloaded the data off of GeoWorkshops. Open up the aerials, and you're going to go ahead and you're going to add all of these aerials. I'm going to drag them over one at a time. Might take a couple seconds. You can see there I've added my first one. I'm going to go ahead and add the rest. Once you get them all added, you want to go ahead and zoom to full extent. And your image should look like this. Now in this case we use the ECW format. It tends to draw a little bit better in ArcScene. We actually used a program called Global Mapper to convert to ECW. And one of the things to make your table of contents look a lot cleaner is to go ahead, right click on Scene Layers, create a new group layer, and then you can just call that aerial. And then you can take and drag all of your aerials to the new group layer. And by doing that, you can then turn them all on and off again at the same time. So go ahead and do that, just like that. And you see how I'm putting it inside the group layer. Now that can certainly take a couple minutes to do that, but notice once I do that, I can collapse the legend, and then I can turn the aerials on and off instead of having to turn each individual file on. So next we're going to go add some additional data, and from our, I believe, our map data folder inside the St. Michael's geodatabase, we're going to go ahead and add some additional data layers. We're going to add from the feature data set, we're going to add St. Michael's Buildings. We're going to add St. Michael's Outs. And we're going to go ahead and add St. Michael's parcel data, which is located here. So we add those through data layers, and you should see something like this. We're going to go ahead and change the St. Michael's parcel data, and we're basically going to take the fill color and make that no color. And we have the outline. Click OK. This allows us to see the parcel lines, but they're not blocking the aerial photos. You can go ahead and zoom in and take a look. If you want to, you can change the color of the parcel outlines, but basically, because I can't really see those very well, I might change the color a little bit. I'm going to make mine a nice dark black color. So now they stand out a little bit more, but they're not super noticeable. Now you've learned previously how to extrude buildings, but we only extruded them for one city block. Now we're going to do the whole town. So we're going to go ahead and go into St. Michael's Buildings and extrude. We can put a value of 100 in. It's kind of like what we did before. Click OK. And then you can see all the buildings extruded. But we know how to use an expression to do that, so we should do that. So if you remember the expression, open this up again. We'll get rid of that. Go ahead to the expression builder. And if you recall from the previous exercise, we use height. And we're going to multiply that times 15. So we go height times 15. Click OK. And OK again. And now we can see that we have varying heights based on the size of the building. Next, we're going to work on the outs. In the case of outbuildings, if you open up the attribute tables, you will see that there is no height field that we could use. So we're just going to multiply those by 15 in our extrusion. So we double click, just go, or double clip, just times 15, click OK. And if we do it to the right layer, that is. So I'm going to go back and do that correctly this time. Actually, I have to do it to the outbuilding layer. Extrude features times 15. Click OK. Now we have our main buildings and our outbuildings, like garages, things like that in the backyard. Now we have some additional attributes we can use to give the buildings much variation in color. We open up the Symbology for St. Michael's Building. We're going to go Symbology, and this time we're going to go with categories, unique values, many fields, and we'll make the first field will be type. This is land use type. We'll click add all values. You can see we have commercial, no building, and residential. If there's no building, what we want to do is just go ahead and actually remove that value, because we don't want to symbolize something if there's not a building. And then we make the second field, we're going to call this rand. This is actually a random generator, and this gives us some different options. Again, we want to make the no building. Basically, we want to remove that value and make sure it didn't slip in on us in another location. So you can see basically we have a bunch of different colors for residential and a single value for commercial. And I'm going to go ahead and make my commercial kind of a pinkish color here. And we click OK. And then we click OK again, and you can see the results. So now we've added some variety to our shapes. Now the outbuildings, to differentiate them from the regular buildings, I'm going to go ahead into mine, and I'm going to make the fill color kind of a grayish color. So they're there, but they kind of don't stand out very well, and they're very clearly identified as outbuildings. Feel free to adjust the colors however you want. You can come into your St. Michael's Buildings, and instead of having this pastel color ramp, you could pick a color ramp that has a little bit more solid colors, like that, for example, and then click OK. And now you can see we have a slightly different look. So now we do a little bit of house cleaning. When I started doing this, I did not save, so I should have done that. I'm going to go File, Save, and I'm going to go ahead and save this in my folder for 3D visualization, and I'm going to call it Bruce 2. That way, if ArcScene crashes, I have it saved. The other thing that I should have done is under File, Scene, Document Properties. I always want to make sure that I have Store Relative Path Names to Data Sources. And I'm going to go ahead and click OK. And then I'll save it one more time. And what we want to do for this exercise, your only assignment is to go ahead and basically we want you to save your map document. So you're going to upload the .mxd for your assignment, because I have all this data myself. So I'll be able to get it to work by simply placing your MXD in my folder. And since you have relative paths, it'll be able to easily connect to the data. So that's it for this Module A. Thanks.